Yes, indeedy, feed the needy. We are in the building. What's going on, people? As we proceed to give you what you need, Sifu Kwazi back again. Another week, another live. And yes, we're running late today. I'm so sorry. I apologize. But you guys are here, and that's all that matters. So I apologies on the lateness. We're going to get this straight. Friday sometimes gets a little tough out here with this LA traffic. So yeah. Check in really quick, let people kind of set in, get into the live as we go live. Hope everyone's week has been good. How's everyone feeling? Give me a thumbs up if you've had a great week. If you've had an okay week, it's all right to have an okay week. Once in a while, it's just okay to just be, right? Tonight, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet because there's a lot of things happening. The tail end of the Chinese New Year, so I know a lot of people are still out there celebrating that. Gung Hai Fat Choi, if I hadn't said it to you guys already, a Year of the Dragon looking like it's off to a very, very good start for a lot of people. And for me, as I told you all last week, I did my very first pre-test for my second degree belt in Krav Maga, and that went fairly well. Shout out to my AKMF. That's the American Krav Maga Federation family. We took our first test last week. Share a couple pictures with you guys, just a few, so you can kind of get a gist, kind of the setup. Yeah, as if a bunch of us were in the grappling phase at that point. So just a long, like 4-hour test. We go through, this one was a lot of combatives, but in the end, we did both stand-up sparring and, rolling, grappling. This is just a picture of like some of the, so the working out portion we did in the beginning, just combos and whatnot, having to do various kicks, and like I said, again, some grappling. So it's a lot of fun. Had a good time. That was I was sick as a dog, to be honest with you. I even questioned my own sanity as to why I actually took the test, but there's 4 of them, so I got 3 more to go. And quite honestly, I didn't even want to have to deal with taking a makeup test for something that, I knew I could pull off, even in a capacity where I wasn't feeling 1,000%. I got through that. So you guys let me know in the comments below, those that have taken, I'm assuming a lot of you guys have taken martial arts tests. What was your prep schedule like? Your prep routine? Do you have a certain prep routine? Let me know down in the comments. I honestly don't have a routine. I just kind of get ready, and I know ahead of time the things that I'm preparing for. I've got a book, a chart where that goes through specifically all the things that I'm responsible for on the test. Particularly in this one, like I said, it was combatives, so I knew I was doing that. Yeah, so let's see. So the next one is in less than a month. That's going to be on the 17th of March. So not too much time to prep for that, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to that one too. Again, this isn't my first rodeo. So once again, welcome to the chat. If you guys haven't been here before, doing this live with me, Sifu Kwazi, Kung Fu Chronicles. This is the channel that you're all part of. And hey, it's Friday night. Cheers to you all. Have a little something if you don't have something ready already. Let some people get in here and get in the chat. Not too much that I was going to talk about tonight. First and foremost, wanted to thank everybody for last week, because that was a great chat. Last week we talked about the series Warrior going to Netflix, and it appears most of you guys have done your job and gotten on board and checked out the series if you hadn't already. And even if you have, go ahead and give that thing a like and another a relook, because that first plus week is what really counted for those numbers. If you want a season 4, this is the way to get it. Season 1 through 3 is up.
Territory.
Walk away.
Well, you escalated that pretty fast. Usually there's a little more repartee.
You know there's a door right there.
Shut up and help me.
Yeah, originally on Max before, as we talked about last week. This is the trailer for season 3. So 1, 2, and 3 are up there. You guys really want to check this series out. Really, really great series. The main protagonist is the guy Toy here, and based on the writings of Bruce Lee, as you see. Well worth the look, and a lot of people are really, really into this series now, as they should be. Justin Lin, yeah, the director of Fast and Furious, directed the series. Jonathan Tropper, primary is the primary writer and producer on the series. The guy responsible for Banshee, for those that are familiar with that amazing show. So yeah, it looks like it's off to a great start. Warrior on Netflix. You guys definitely need to check that out. Okay, if you haven't already. A lot of the cast have done various interviews all over the place and really promoting the hell out of this thing. So I'm doing my best to get the word out. I luckily was able to speak with Perry Young, who plays Father June on the show. A couple times we've spoken, and the guy is a solid actor. Sorry, down here checking my dog. I got a little puppy here, making sure he's not biting the wires out and cutting us off. But yeah, so you guys get the gist. If you haven't seen the series already, I won't completely recap from last week. You can check out the live from last week. We talked about that. A couple things I wanted to put in, up front, or put in everybody's radar, I should say. My Kung Fu Combo series, Straight Up No Chase, is back. New episode dropped today. And that series, if you're unfamiliar, I mainly just talk all bullshido. So I put up a lot of samples of just bullshido, bad techniques out there, bad martial arts. Go ahead and give it that critical eye. Tell you what I think. Is it legit? Is it not legit? Why I feel it's not legit. Give you a little piece here, or like a little piece of the video here, so you guys can check it out. Let's see here. Bear with me for a second. So the new one I said just dropped today, and a couple of bullshido techniques were on there that I completely. This one featured. We talked about this last week. Actually, I think I flipped through this last week, but the woman here's got two people. One person with a gun in her head, one person with a gun in her stomach. Saying bullshido super alert on this one. Let's talk about it, and talk about you guys hitting those like and share buttons down below.
Show you what that looks like. To break down the mechanics, what I'm doing here is not engaging, but using his body mechanics against him. This hand floats as I move forward, points the gun right into.
This hand floats. Anytime I hear the word floating, it just makes me think that, like of some instant bullshit alert, because nothing should be floating. The only thing floating is my fist into someone's face if they're trying to hurt me. Anyway.
His own shoulder. When he fires, that goes off. Of course, it's going to be a little bit of a concussion for me, but if I'm moving forward, hopefully I'll be out of range.
Little bit of a concussion. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. The key words were a little bit of a concussion. Hopefully I'll be out of there. First of all, I go into this in depth in the video. I just want to give you guys a taste, but the whys of why the heck are you even in that scenario in the first place, and your probability of getting out, at least the way she's doing, 0 to none. Not going to happen. Not the way she's demoing it. And in that case, I honestly just break it down and say it's going to be a verbal jujitsu take from that point, because there's no way with two guns on you at that position that you're able to magically spin move out of that. So talk about that and more. You guys should check out the video if you haven't already. I'll leave a link in the description below, so you can check that video out. Just dropped today, hot off the press, so you guys have something to entertain you. And yeah, the point of these videos is to, yes, go through some bogus martial arts, but also to entertain you guys. So let me know if if it's mission accomplished on that, or if not. Take it both ways, meaning your comments. So love critical thought and love critical discussion. So as long as we've got constructive criticism, I'm all in. All right. So big news this week, though. Last week we talked Warrior. This week, as we're talking martial arts news here, we'll get ready for that. So my martial arts news this week. The series, are you aware of it? Is it on your radar? Shogun. It's a new series on Hulu. All right, this thing is starting this Tuesday, so get ready for that. Yeah, if you are excited about that, go ahead and say yay. I'm excited for it. And there's a couple reasons why. So I want to give you get you guys hip to this whole vibe. First of all, the show, like I mentioned, is on Hulu. And it's an all-star cast. It basically retells the story of the James Clavell novel. If you're unfamiliar with that novel, it's an old school 1970s, mid 1970s novel that originally they went ahead and did an original miniseries on this back when I was a kid in 1980. I remember like small bits and pieces of it coming on TV. It was on NBC at the time. And still, fun fact, still one of the highest rated miniseries on NBC, even to this day. Had a bunch of people write. I think Roots was the only other miniseries that beat that series. So I'll give you guys a little taste.
This is Shogun, the staggering saga of feudal Japan. The story of ruling warlords battling for ultimate supremacy. They are challenged by a stranger from across the seas, John Blackthorne, the one man with the power to change Japan's destiny for all time. This is the opening chapter of the 6-part presentation starring Richard Chamberlain and Toshiro Mifune, the epic tale of power and passion, beauty and tragedy. That is Shogun.
Yeah, so that was the old school one, 1980.
Shogun, James Clavell's #1 international bestseller. Shogun, the Emmy Award-winning television masterpiece. The unforgettable epic of two warlords battling with destiny, creating a civilization for all time. The honor and the horror, the power and the passion, the beauty and the tragedy. Richard Chamberlain, Toshiro Mifune, a 6-part epic presentation that is Shogun.
Wow, right? That thing, I don't know if it's dated that well. But yeah, I remember as a kid watching, my grandparents actually had the original novel up on the bookcase, and it was huge. I remember that book, man. It was a hardcover. And I remember even then as a kid being a little bit interested. I saw a little, like I said, little bits and pieces of the miniseries on TV, but it was like an epic. So 6 parts, literally every night the show would be on. I think they would run it for like an hour or two. So 2 hours a night. So I think the equivalent now of like 12 episodes. This new series that's coming to Hulu is not really just a remake. People are talking about it being more of a retelling, so to speak, because the novel gets so in depth. So as the trailer talked about here, basically it's following the main protagonist in this, a guy named Blackthorne. It was loosely based on an historical English navigator, William Adams, when Japan rose to become a samurai under the strongest powerful lord, and later the founder and first shogun of Takagawa shogunate of Japan. And the years are 1543 to 1616. So loosely based on some history there. And you guys are going to probably find this one a lot more interesting because it's new wave. So let's check the new trailer.
Hear me, my son. I alone will tell you the truth. Death is the only punishment here.
I have not told you my family name, but it is well known in Japan. Many years ago, a great injustice stole everything from me. I have learned one truth, that enemies are everywhere and friends nowhere. To show your true heart is to risk your life. Because death can come for us at any moment.
These are dire times. Hinomoto wa senran no you ni tachicaeru no wake. Doomed lovers. Cursed kings.
These people are godless savages.
Or maybe they just don't give a shit what you think. 時は来た。おごり高ぶった逆賊から日の本を守らねばならん。
もはや戦議は終わったと思ってよいのじゃな。
動けない。
その後、己の敵の正体が分かっておらぬのじゃ。
You cannot play their games. That's how they dominate. A title revered through the ages. Shogun.
Yeah, man. So, tale as old as time, the struggle for power. This one looks to be like it's going to be something else. I think it's going to. It really looks. It has a. I don't know if, about you guys, but it has that kind of Game of Thrones look to me. The cinematography looks very, very deep and involved. So yes, a retelling, so to speak, but at the same time, not a complete remake. So those unfamiliar with the novel, you can check that out. But spoilers, obviously, if you do. The original 1980s covered more of like stuff on the surface area, and I think this new series will get a lot more involved, both on the political scale and on the action scale. I will warn you, if you're looking for something that's just all action, this isn't it. It's going to be a lot of drama amongst the action, but they obviously upgraded the action and brutality and violence, and you know, it's just the sign of the times, you know. So basically it's going to mirror the times that the novel was based in. So again, based on some true events, some, you know, there's going to be some liberties taken, but for the most part, like I told you before, it follows the collision of two ambitious men from different worlds and a mysterious female samurai. John Blackthorne, as I told you, is the main protagonist, a risk-taking English sailor who ends up shipwrecked in Japan, a land whose unfamiliar culture will ultimately redefine him. Lord Toranaga, a shrewd, powerful warrior at odds with his own dangerous political rivals, and Lady Mariko, a woman with invaluable skills but dishonorable family ties, who must prove her value and allegiance. So this one's gonna be an, you know, all-star cast. You're talking Hiroyuki Sanada, a guy that everyone's familiar with, been in, you know, the John Wick movie, the last one. He was the main Japanese protagonist in that. Been in so many movies, Avengers, been just like Mortal Kombat. Just if you see the face, you know the guy right away. So he's a legendary Japanese actor. You've got let's see here, Anna Sawai. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She was just in Monarch. So for those that are all familiar with the MonsterVerse, she played a pivotal character in that. Beautiful woman and pretty good actress. Cosmo Jarvis, Takahiro Hira is in it. Fumi Nakaido, and many more. So this one, you know, is going to be one for some big time fans if you're into historical Japanese pieces with some action, some excitement. This one's going to be right up your alley. I'm going to read a little quick excerpt here because this article is kind of talking about the series, and says how a decade of false starts, endless translation debates, and one-star turned producer made a classic story relevant to a 21st century audience. Because as I mentioned before, the original one came out way back in 1980. But it says in 2018, FX Productions sent screenwriter Justin Marks a copy of James Clavell's historical doorstop, Shogun. For FX, it represented a fresh start for a beleaguered project from which writing teams had come and gone. Marks was a rising talent, coming off 2 seasons of his buzzy spy drama counterpart and the 26th remake of The Jungle Book. The book sat glaring up at him from his coffee table for days. It's like 1,200 pages. Yeah, I told you, the book is so thick. When I when I was a kid, I remember the thing just sitting up on my grandparents' bookshelf thick old hardcover with the word Shogun written down it with the katana, I think, on it. So anyway, the 1,200 pages. Mark says it was the hardest of passes. It wasn't just the length, it was the subject matter or Mark's impression of it. From the book's reputation and from its famed 1980 miniseries adaptation, his notion of a story about a white European arriving in a strange land, the silhouette of a character who kind of looks like me, wearing clothes that do not belong to people who look like me, he says, was troublesome for me as a storyteller, but it wasn't simply that the project seemed problematic. In a world where Shogun had inspired entertainments like The Last Samurai, the 2003 blockbuster in which Tom Cruise plays a Westerner traveling to Japan, the original text might feel redundant. And actually, that's a great point. When I first saw The Last Samurai years ago, like 20 years ago now, it had that feel. It was basically stranger in a strange land kind of thing. There had been so many works derived from Shogun, Mark says, that I felt it was just something I'd seen before. So anyway, the article goes on to break down how they eventually got to start producing the story and making this new miniseries. But you guys let me know. Will you be watching? Won't you be watching? What are your thoughts on this? This Tuesday night, first 2 episodes of the show drop. I'll definitely be DVRing it. If I can't watch it myself, I'm probably going to be in class, but I'll watch it when I get home that night. 10 episodes in the series. So basically, pack a lunch on this one. It's going to be, 9 weeks, 2 months of back to back. So we'll have a lot to talk about in the next few weeks. Maybe every week we'll kind of do a breakdown of the episodes and kind of get people involved in the chat and see where we go from there. But yeah, share your thoughts. Let me know. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are too. And next week we'll bring you guys even more. All right. I'm keeping this one short and sweet tonight. Again, apologies on the late start. But once again, thanks guys for tuning in every week, 8 o'clock, live, direct, right here, Kung Fu Chronicles live stream. Let me know in the chat or let me know in comments and email what topics you'd like me to cover next or, in the next coming weeks. I will let you know before I sign off here. I've got some critically great, and I don't even know if that's the word to describe them, but some really good interviews lined up, some special ones. Starting next week, I'll make an announcement on my very first one. Next Friday, special announcement. So saying it right now. So tune back in. I have news on our very first interview of the year. It's going to be a big one. And I think it's going to be of interest to a lot of people, especially, I'll give you guys a hint, people that are fans of weapons and weapon series and instructor series. You guys are going to probably really dig this first interview. So I'll have more news on that next week and then some, and more Shogun news as we will recap the first 2 episodes, break those down a little bit, and we'll talk some more martial arts news and all that. Remember, leave the I'm leaving you guys the link down below for the new Kung Fu Combo episode. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do me that solid. Show some love down there in the comments. All right, sound good to you guys? Yeah, can I get a yay? Absolutely. And don't forget.
Don't just stand there, like and subscribe.
Yeah, show me some love down below.
Just stand there, like and subscribe.
Please do, and get the word out. Share this video if because it's just as good if people see it, even if it's not live. They know what we're doing every week. So this is our time, folks, where we can reach out and touch each other, make the community even bigger. And again, apologies on being late, but that's why you guys are the best. Come on in here and, show love every week and, help me help you guys. So if there's any particular topics you want me to tackle, I will do that. Just go ahead and email, or you can leave comments here, obviously in the chat, or, on my Instagram. I will, as a matter of fact, let me switch it up here so you guys know where to reach me. There's all my info down there. So you guys can link up with any of those any of those socials and follow me there and find me there. All right, guys. See you guys. Have a great weekend. See you guys next week and get ready to talk a little more Shogun and all that good stuff, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Keep punching, guys. And talk Talk to you soon.